cop. All right, here we are. Here we are again on a Tuesday, no less. I wasn't planning on streaming. I just saw another article about the banks, and then I saw this about the dark side of Thailand, which, if you don't know, there's this BBC series. It's a 3-part series. And, I'm interested. I want to see what do they have to say, and I found it online, and I watched it. I watched the whole thing. So, I'm going to give my thoughts on that because it's a little naive, we'll say, and skewed. And in the banking thing, I understand it from the Thai perspective, the perspective of the banks, but then I also don't really understand it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So let me just get right into it today because I don't feel like dilly-dallying around. Of course, Thailand is in the headlines as always. One story has been unfolding for the past, 2 months or so. Quietly inside every ATM and banking app, people are waking up to find their money frozen. Good morning, Mr. Cyrus. I'm doing very well. I am actually doing well. Good morning, Bruce. How's everybody doing? Now, they find their accounts frozen. There's no access. Good morning. No access, no warning. Charles, how you doing? Sawati. Oh, everybody's here today. Jim, how you doing? The government says it's cracking down on online scams and mule accounts, but the net that they're casting goes far and wide. It's really sweeping up a lot of regular people. Supposedly, they've had 177,000 accounts, but that's out of 3 million. Their percentage is way, way off. They've got this algorithm, this software that's supposed to catch people, and it's getting small business owners, regular people, retirees, expats, locals, and a lot of people, they got one account, or 1 or 2 accounts, and maybe this is the bulk of their money. They got no money. They have no money to pay their rent, no money for groceries, and I understand that. Hey, this is something they really needed to approach a little more carefully, and obviously they didn't. Hello, Kansas. They didn't, and now people are paying the price for it, and people are ticked off, and rightly so. However, you gotta say, what's gonna happen if the people have their accounts hacked or they get scammed? Now, if you get scammed, if you get scammed and you give the money, that's your fault. It's not the bank's fault. Now, I got to tell you, there's a lot of stuff going around, and I got 2 different articles I can draw from to tell you about people that have been ripped off, and these are Thais. So let me get into that. But at the same time, on the other side of the equation, we got the BBC dropping this 3-part documentary about the dark side of paradise. Now, first of all, this isn't paradise. I hate to tell you this. Maybe for tourists it might be. They're coming for a week or 2, 3 weeks maybe. Oh, it's paradise. Yeah, okay. As somebody who's lived here, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that live here that will concur, this is not paradise. It's a great place to live. There's a lot of great things. I mean, there are some wonderful things. Listen, if I want, I can go and get some really good Thai food. And Thai people, let me tell you something. Thai people have been the nicest in my life. I mean, they bent over backwards for me. I'm talking about when I was working in boxing, people have helped me. When I was working as a journalist, people have helped me. I'm talking about Thai people. They have bent over backwards for me. I have lost my phone, and the driver has come all the way back from wherever he was. It took him an hour to get to me. I gave him some cash, gave him like 1,000 baht. He came back, and I was like, thank you so much. I've been in the Happy Land with my computer. I left my computer behind. I forgot it. It was sitting on my chair. I come back, the computer's right. I come back like a half hour later. The computer's still sitting there. I've gone out with people. You put on a helmet. You get to where you're going. You get to the mall here. You put your helmet on the motorbike. Nobody steals it. Now imagine this. If you did this in America, what would happen? Come on. I mean, really. It's ridiculous. Now, the BBC paints Thailand as a playground of crime and excess, a place where danger lurks behind every signpost, every neon sign, and it's packaged as an expose, but it's more like a marketing trailer to scare you, which is irritating in itself. Good morning. I just read that they are correcting this a priority. Well, they already have supposedly issued some guidelines that will help things, but I'll get into those in a few minutes. We have a cousin who got scammed for 300,000. Well, maybe she's the lady I saw in the newspaper. It's paradise compared to England right now. I'd be surprised if the whole bike is not gone in America. Yeah. 2Q, did you see Mary of Old England this last weekend? Depends where in the U.S. Yes. Okay. So, let me continue here. Now, obviously, both stories matter, and they're kind of interconnected. They shape how the world views Thailand, and how those of us here who actually live here, how we deal with things on a day-to-day basis, and that's why I'm here today, to cut through the panic, because there is a lot of panic. And let me tell you something. I told my kid, I go, hey, here's the deal. He's got like 150 grand in the bank. I'm like, you want to keep that money? I said, leave like 5,000 baht in there. Take the money out. Go buy some gold. Get a couple of ingots of gold. When you got enough for 3 ingots, which is what, 54,000 a pop, you're talking about 162,000. When you got 162,000, take that money out. Go buy 3 baht of gold. You have ready access to your money. And guess what? The banks are not going to protect you. They are going to be a pain in the ass. Now, this might be changing. So I'll get into that in a few minutes. But, we're going to talk about what it really means for people who love this country, who like this country. And, yeah, that's what we're going to do today. I always leave my generic helmet on the bike. I definitely don't do that with my American full face. I read today in the nation that Bangkok Bank seems more frozen accounts coming. Stay away from Bangkok Bank. It's not only Bangkok Bank, but yes, they are the majority. Now, I'm going to get into it. Now, I got to tell you, an 83-year-old woman, she's the face of Thailand's deepening online fraud. Now, I got to say, my kid got scammed out of 1,500 baht. And we were like, what are you thinking? He's on the phone with somebody who's supposed to be a police officer. When has a police officer ever called you and said, you better send money? I told him, I said, what are you thinking? He was scared. And I said, why didn't you come down and tell me? He said I couldn't tell anybody. I'm like, dude, lesson learned. And a relatively cheap one at that. But it's still 1,500 baht. It irritates me. But this 83-year-old woman, the real police were at her gates. She was on the telephone Now, the real police were imploring her, honey, we are the real police. You need to listen to us. She's on the phone with a fake police officer. She shooed off the real police. She told them, get out of here. I know you're fake. She dismissed the police and she completed the transfer. And you know how much it was for? 5 million bahts. Later, she found out and the damage was done, and she filed a complaint with the Prakanong police, but her money was gone. And she's just another victim in these scams that are supposedly taking place across the border in Cambodia. You know, now what I don't understand is that you're catching all these innocent people. So at the expense of the innocent people, you're trying to catch the guilty. Why don't you just educate people? That if a police officer calls you, you go, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, you're going to go to jail. I don't want to talk to you. Bye, I got to go. What police station are you from? It's that simple. If a cop calls me, I go, yeah, sure you are. Sure you're a cop. No, you're not. You're not a cop. What police station are you at? I'm going to go to that police station right now. And then, you know, that alone, they don't want to deal with you. So, you know, I mean, how bizarre is that the woman has the police at her door? They must have known what's going on. Oh my God. She thought she was speaking to a senior police officer in a criminal investigation, and in truth, the voice on the phone belonged to a scammer operating from abroad. She drained her savings across 5 separate transfers, each more desperate than the last. Oh my God. Oh my God. On September 3rd, she handed over $3.5 million. The next day, she sent an additional $400,000, then $300,000, then $300,000, then $450,000. Altogether, she lost almost 5 million baht. Oh my God. She sent another payment after that. She was convinced the real police were imposters. All you have to do is say, I don't want to deal with you here. Let's go to your station. And I'm not going with you. I'll follow you because, you know, that's the way that it works. Unbelievable. Fortunately, police working with the online crime, they have all these acronyms and all these names of these organizations. The Online Crime Operations Center managed to freeze 2.5 million of the funds before they disappeared overseas. The bank had flagged the unusual withdrawals, triggering police response. In recent weeks, online fraud targeting Thailand has surged to unprecedented levels. Criminal gangs based in Myanmar, Laos, and especially Cambodia are behind a majority of these call center operations. This is not speculation. It is confirmed by police agencies in recent United Nations reports. This is unbelievable. But, as I always say, and I use this when dealing with girls from the bars, only you can open up your wallet and make the payment. Now, if they hack your account, that's a completely different matter and you're not at fault. But if you give that money away, you send that money away, even if you're being scammed, of course it's fraudulent. It shouldn't happen. But it does. And once you give it away, whether you get your money or not is a completely different matter. And it's probably not going to happen. Scams are inversely proportional to the to the condition of the real economy. Easier to scam them. Yeah. You know, what are you going to do? Now, another woman, she's 38 years old. She lost over 300,000 baht to an online scam, and she warned the public to stay vigilant. She's a private company employee referred to as Ms. Cat. She lost over 300K in Ban Lamung police station. That's where she is cooperating with the police, and she's pursuing legal action. Oh, she went to a Facebook page to sell secondhand items. After messaging the page, an admin responded and sent her a link that directed her to a line group with over 300 members. The admin instructed her to proceed with buying and selling, directing her to ask questions if needed. She agreed to sell a baby electric cradle and was asked to provide personal details to open a member account for her shop. She was then directed with a finance officer through another channel to receive a payment of 2,600 baht. She was asked to complete 3 tasks to build her credit for the shop and gain customer trust. She transferred small amounts, hundreds of bahts, and received returns with 20 baht interest. The task escalated, requiring her to select items and transfer larger sums from hundreds to thousands and eventually tens of thousands of baht. Unaware of the scam, she continued, driven by the promise of recovering her money. Oh, Jesus. The situation took a turn when the finance officer claimed she had made an error in the final task along with another group member and was instructed to try again. By this point, her total transfers had reached hundreds of thousands of baht. Desperate to recover her funds, she contacted another service officer as directed, who demanded additional payments to exceed a supposed withdrawal limit. Despite warnings from her partner, Ms. Kat, driven by the desire to recoup her losses, continued until her savings were depleted. Over 300,000. Scams are closer than you think, she said. If a sale seems too quick and easy, assume you're being deceived. Always think careful and verify before proceeding. Listen, nowadays, I never have liked this digital thing. It is very convenient, but the only thing I would say is that most of the time when I'm using the QR code, it's either at the grocery or it's a motorcycle driver that I know, and it's for a small amount. Now, that said, I think at this point now it's time to start using cash again and stop using the QR code. And a lot of people are doing that. Well, when I left my phone in a taxi, a friend of mine that's a bar girl is the one who got my phone back. She called the phone, had the taxi driver delivered my phone to her condo, then to me. Yeah. I mean, the Thais are honest for the most part. But you don't want to tempt them. Don't put 5 million baht in front of their face. You might start thinking about how they can change the world and make their life better for mama and papa. You don't know. So you don't want to do that. But that said, obviously these things are not the kind of, you don't want to get into these kind of things. All right. Now, Thailand's government and banks have launched a major campaign against online fraud. I buy gold here. It is easy. Buy and sell. They're like an exchange service. Yes. And what I always say is go to Chinatown. Even if you're just buying 1 baht, I know it's going to cost you a little bit to go down there, but go down to Chinatown. Hua Seng Heng. That's all you got to do. Go to one of those shops and you're always going to be treated well. And, listen, I got all these bank accounts, and guess what? Maybe the reason they haven't locked my accounts or frozen my accounts is because I keep nothing in them. I keep my money in the U.S. I don't put a lot of money here. And listen, I got to make a transfer tomorrow. As soon as that money comes, it's all out. It'll come, and within 5 minutes, I will withdraw the money. So hopefully there won't be some, automatic kind of a trigger, but there hasn't been, and I think the reason is that I just don't keep much money. And before, I was keeping money in to pay taxi drivers and stuff. Now I'm going to the envelope method. Envelope for rent, envelope for electric, and I don't mind putting it online, but I don't really want to if I don't have to. And I don't want to have to go into 7-Eleven to pay my electric bill and my water bill, but, I'll do what I got to do. the the government and the banks, they have good intentions, but the execution is brutal. They do have silver, but it's far more difficult to sell the silver ingots than it is the gold ingots. And I think it's a lot more difficult to get it here in Thailand. Although I have looked into that, and I know you can get it. It's not as developed as gold. MTS Gold is a known supplier. Unlike gold, silver products are subject to a 7% VAT, which impacts their availability and price. Yeah. Bangkok SA, and then there are some in jewelry stores, but at least with credit cards, you can recoup charges with a scam if you're diligent. Yes, and I have done that in the past, okay? Now, reports show millions of accounts flagged, like 3 million. And authorities say it's about mule accounts that move dirty money, but a lot of people have clean, ordinary accounts and people that have nothing to do with scams. I mean, I'd be pissed. In the beginning, I said, maybe you need to get your phone number lined up with your bank account phone number. Maybe you need to make sure you have the right visa. But now I'm seeing it's not just those people. It's innocent people, foreigner and Thai alike. So when this is happening, that's a problem. And I think they need to take care of it like right now. And apparently what happens now is that the innocent accounts are unfrozen once they're verified within 4 hours. Now, that's what the rule is that they've made. Oh, you have to once it's verified. So you have to go in and verify your information before they'll release the funds. They're not going to say, oh, well, you're innocent, you didn't do anything, so we're not going to freeze your account, we'll unfreeze it. No, they won't do that. You have to go in and show them whatever, your passport, your visa, your everything that you have that goes with the account, your phone number, those kind of things. They didn't say how many foreigner accounts, but they did say it was 177,000 out of 3 million. Now, think about that percentage. So they're catching more people that are innocent, far more people that are innocent that have done anything wrong. Wise is my bank account. I even made large purchases via the debit card. You can pull $6K out cash at the ATM. And up to 40K US or equivalent in Thai baht. Yeah, I know, and I got Charles Schwab, which you don't pay any fees. I got Wise, and to be honest, I don't know that I would have opened up Charles Schwab if I knew I had Wise, but it is a backup. I will put a little bit of money in there just to keep the account active and going. And I also have Truist, which Truist doesn't charge me any. There's no fees. There's nothing. So I don't pay any fees with Charles Schwab or Truist. And if I want, what I can do is I just make sure that from Wise, I get a little money in my Thai bank account, or if I want to do that, or I put it in the U.S. If I want, I can take money out from the ATM with my U.S., my Charles Schwab card, or Truist, which Truist, again, doesn't charge anything. They do charge, and then you get a refund. So you have to stay vigilant and alert no matter what country you go to. Yeah, I mean, I know that too. I've been all over the world, and you got to always be careful. Well, I think that's what you have to do, Bruce. You have to visit the original branch, which is a pain in the ass. I got an account that was opened at my Bangkok bank. Was it my Bangkok bank? No, my Thai military bank. It used to be at Landmark Plaza. If you remember, right in front of Landmark Plaza, right next to where you went in, and they have the little coffee shop, and you can sit outside, you can sit inside. They used to have a Thai military bank right there. And I just went in there, boom. When I had a tourist visa, I went in there, opened it up, no problem. And I had that account for a long time, but they closed that bank down, and now I have a bank account at Terminal 21. They moved the location without me, I didn't know they even closed until they told me, oh, now your location is Terminal 21. I said, the banks are not very good a lot of times, and you do need to keep checking your messages, at least every 2 or 3 days. What about Rimply? It's good if you need to pull cash from the bank. I don't know what rhymed. Remitly. That's what you mean, Remitly. I don't use it. I used to have, what was the other one? The one they give you a card. Because when I opened my UOB account, they tricked me into signing up for insurance. Sign here. Yeah, well, that's another thing. Now, so you got a ATM card that comes with insurance. And what you do is you say, I don't want it. And they'll go, oh, no, you can get, no, I don't want it. You understand? If you try to sell me this insurance card, I'm going to not get a card. I don't want the insurance because that's like 800 baht. Where you can get the card for like 200 if you want the card. Now, quite frankly, if you've got more than one account, you only need like 1 or 2 cards. You need like 2 cards, one and a backup. And if you have any other accounts other than that, you use the cash, you use the withdrawal, the cardless withdrawal. Yeah, this is the problem, Bruce, and I've said this many times. They just put out these rules and then everybody gets to follow them however they see fit. And it's bullshit. Listen, all insurance is pretty much a scam. You have to be very careful with insurance. But, they gave me a big line of credit, but the insurance cost per month is ridiculous. I don't think I can cancel it. Yeah, see, that's pretty ridiculous. Well, the difference is that in the U.S. and just about every country, scams are also abundant, but the government banks don't freeze millions of accounts like Thailand. Yeah, I mean, you don't think it's a little overkill that they're freezing accounts of people? That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and quite honestly, do you think that it gives business people who are thinking of investing, do you think it inspires confidence in them to go ahead and spend their money with the banks, put their money in the banks, put their trust in the bank? This is the thing. I don't trust the banks anymore. And they haven't taken anything from me. You could say I'm smart, or you could just say, listen, I don't have the money to put a large sum of money in my Thai account and let it sit there and go, oh, well, I don't want to have to deal with this. Okay, I have some money in one account, but other than that, I don't have any other money, really. I don't have much to speak of. Usually I only got a couple thousand baht. And when I do have money, it's in there just to pay for something like the electric bill, the water bill. That's it. So I don't have a lot of money in my Thai accounts. The money is in the U.S. accounts, spread out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my money in the Wise account, and my card has been sent already. Hopefully I'll get it soon. I have a feeling I'll get it when I come back from the south, but who knows? If I get it before then, hallelujah. That'll be fantastic, but I don't think that I will. So, all right, let me continue here. Bank of Thailand officials held an emergency meeting with the Thai Bankers Association. They promised that innocent accounts will be unfrozen within 4 hours to a day. I didn't see that. Once verified. They also said only the suspicious amount will be locked, not entire balances, and that SMS or app notifications will alert customers. These are nice words, but the reality that I'm hearing and seeing, people are still left in limbo. Documents are requested, resubmitted, rejected, and the clock keeps ticking. This is what I mean. 4 hours to a day from the time that everything is verified to their satisfaction. Now, I don't have any idea what law they're going by here. I don't know, but there is a law that says, okay, well, we can willy-nilly freeze your account. I thought that this was a lot more detailed. This was a detailed transaction for them to, a detailed matter. They had to go through different channels to be able to do this. And some accounts now show negative balances when the flagged amount is larger than is what is inside. Rent is due, salaries need to be paid, and travelers can't buy their tickets to go places when they need to go places. What about the business owners? They got to pay their salaries, they got to pay this, they got to pay that. And people who they've been taking the QR code are starting to say, no, cash only. Imagine that. This isn't just an inconvenience, it is a huge, huge breach of trust for foreigners and expats. It raises the sharp question, if your money can be frozen overnight, how secure is your life here? We're told it's all about crime prevention, but when the system treats every transfer as suspicious, that's not security, that is a massive overreach. Now, the other thing is that they're talking about this being a digital, it's digital this, digital that. They want to do everything digital. We want to we want to register you and do this and do that. And the bottom line is, no, I don't want you to register me. Oh, it's for your own safety. I don't want you to, no, I don't need you to take care of me. I don't want you to take care of me. That's the thing. I don't want the bank to, we're looking out for you. No, you're not. You're covering your own ass. I don't have a lot of money in there. I don't care what you do. You want to freeze my account? Go ahead. One way or another, I'll get my money. I can tell you that right now. So they can kiss my ass. I don't need them to take care of me. This is the thing. Everybody's like, it's for your own security. No, it's not. Don't give me that bullshit. I mean, yeah, okay. Maybe they're doing it and they're like, okay, well, you'll be safer. And they're also going, and we won't lose money. Now, Thailand depends on its reputation and its confidence in investors and retirees, the digital nomads, the tourists. And if the financial plumbing, so to speak, kind of looks unreliable and shaky, people will think twice about wiring their funds over here, moving here, or doing business here, starting a business here. Okay? It's just not going to happen. I trust the stock stuffed with cash under my mattress. Yes, so do I. What's your address, Bruce? As soon as Wise allows accounts based in Nevada, I'll create one. I don't know why you got to have one in Nevada. You're talking about just to get the card or what? I don't understand that. Has anyone filed a lawsuit against the banks and governments? Well, lawyers are now imploring people to file suits. Methinks there is a serious liquidity, and that's another thing. We're talking about liquidity. Well, there has been a serious run on the banks, not enough to make them run out of money, but that's what people are worried about here. And I can tell you, Alex is pulling his money, my wife is pulling her money. Whatever money I have come in, I'm only going to leave a little bit, and I might leave like 2,000 baht in the bank, and that's it. And if they take my 2,000 baht, I'm like, fuck you. I mean, really, that's what I'll think. You want to freeze my account with 2,000 baht in it? Go ahead. You can stick that 2,000 up your ass, because it's all a bunch of bullshit. Oh, it's automatic. The algorithm. Listen, what do I need the algorithm for? Why don't you put some people on it? Why don't you put some people on it, regular people, and look into the trouble accounts? Oh, well, we can't do that. There's too many. Well, guess what? Get more people then. Don't let an algorithm do it. Yeah, you can have Wise anywhere. I don't know why you would wait to have Las Vegas other than to get a card. There's never enough liquidity, not possible. Yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is they haven't reached the point of no return now when people are going in mass and then they make a run on the banks and there is no more money. My U.S. residence is based in Nevada. I have an address there, but it is the only state that WISE will not allow an account. You can't get a P.O. box in some other state, or you can get a Thai account, Jim, but you just can't get the card. No, you know that the banks don't have all the cash that they're supposed to have. They never do. And that's another thing. Why not? Why don't you have all the cash that you need to have? Oh, well, we're investing it. Oh, well, we're loaning it. We're doing that. It's ridiculous. Truly ridiculous. Now, you know, all the know your customer and Visa documentation for banks, you should make sure that you have that readily available and you use more than one bank. And also you bring cash home. I don't mean you got to put it under the bed or something like that, but you know, have 10, 20,000 in cash. Hey, how you doing? Have 10 or 20,000 in cash at home. You know, it's not that hard to find it to where, you know, somebody's not going to just walk right in, take your money at gunpoint and walk out. If you're smart. And that's the same thing with gold, because, you know, you get even a 5 baht ingot is not all that large, and you can hide it pretty easily. So don't rely on a single pipeline for all your money, and this is not really fear-mongering. It's basic survival. It's being smart, and regulators and banks seem to have a real problem here, and they can lock the doors whenever they want. It's like nowadays, governments can do pretty much whatever they want. Banks, now, I mean, they're really brazen here. And it's like, I don't understand, where are their laws? Where do you come up with, I'm a scammer, so you can lock my account for a month or for weeks? Where does the bank come up with where do they get the gall to do that? You got money, you've been sitting on that money, it hasn't come in from anywhere except your account back home. And they feel like they can freeze that account. That's just ridiculous. What is this? My WISE registration was created using Nevada address. They won't allow me to open a savings account in Thailand or Nevada. They told me they would advise me when Nevada is eligible. Yeah, well, I wouldn't hold my breath. So I don't know if you can delete that account or what you can do, but I would get a Thai account. I think if that's what you know, if you can use it. Otherwise, maybe, you know, you're going to the ATM. I don't know. Banks are scams. Anyway, if it wasn't for interest rates that I'm getting on my money, I would have in my account in the U.S. I would never have an account. At least in the U.S., there would have been lawsuits filed the same day this happened. Yeah, of course. Now, let me get to another one here. This is the one who got ripped off for $300,000. Let me close this one up. The Bank of Thailand's measures, including biometric authentication for high-value transactions and a 50,000 baht a day transfer cap for some parties introduced in August, align with global anti-money laundering standards. Why am I not allowed to transfer more than 50,000 baht in a day? Have I ever been caught doing anything criminal? No, I haven't. Some critics argue that the rules have disrupted e-commerce and tourism, with some innocent account holders facing delays of days or even weeks. The Ministry of Digital Economy and Society's War Room hotline, launched to handle complaints, reported 600 to 700 calls in a single morning on September 14th, promising resolutions within minutes for verified cases. Banks pleaded urgent action to review frozen accounts, with the BOT expected to issue clearer guidelines to prevent misclassifications of legitimate accounts. Officials assured ongoing efforts to mitigate the crisis Crisis's impact. Now, I got to tell you something. I have no faith in these people. And, you know, I've always said this. I'm sorry. But when it comes to websites and things like this, these people, they can't be trusted. And it's not because it's not because they're criminal. It's because many of them are inept. They just don't know how to implement everything properly. And then what will happen is they'll implement it, and then in 3 days they'll go, oh shit, I made a mistake. Oh, big mistake. Oh no. And the people are going, what's the problem? Oh, sorry. No, sorry doesn't cut it, my friend. I hate to say it, and that's the thing. And I've said this for years in Thailand. Sorry doesn't mean jack shit. Sorry doesn't resolve the problem. Almost feels like they got bored and needed to create more nonsense. I want to know how many banks and government employees had their bank accounts free. Yeah, I'd like to know that. Oh, I work at the bank, so they don't freeze my account. And, you know, I did a video about the OECD and World Economic Forum. And I said, I don't think it's good for Thailand. It's a bunch of rich people. They want money. They want you to do what they're telling you. Thailand doesn't want to be beholden to anybody. Why would they do this? So now I hope they're not under the thumb of the OECD and WEF. I don't think they are so far. But I don't think they should be. I don't think they should allow this. If Thailand's going to do it and they're going to fall on their face, then let them fall on their face. If they have to go back to being nothing but farmers, let them do it. Don't try to help them and say, oh, you got to pay all these millions and then we'll help you out. Yeah, sure you will. No, you won't. And Thailand's probably not going to fall on its face. They're probably going to be just fine. Even with the bank problems now, what's going to happen is in a year, 2 years from now, nobody's going to be getting their accounts locked up, and they're going to be fine. Well, it's not that they're courting them. They don't meet the requirements to join the OECD yet. Okay? And I don't think they meet the requirements for the WEF. Let me see something here. These are like rich people's clubs. There goes that. Thailand is in the process of accession. The roadmap lays out what Thailand needs to do: legislative changes, aligning public policy, anti-corruption, trade and investment rules, environmental protection, transparency. Thailand has submitted or is preparing to submit its initial memorandum, which is a self-assessment against OECD legal instruments and policy benchmarks. OECD is reviewing technical areas across many committees. Some reforms are underway. Progress has been made, but there are still gaps. Thailand is in transition, not yet compliant with all OECD requirements. So they are trying to do it. The World Economic Forum doesn't have membership requirements. Thailand's government has participated in WEF events. The Prime Minister has recently pitched Thailand's investment environment and advantages. Okay, so this doesn't look good. There are many criticisms and gaps remain, particularly around governance, transparency, environmental enforcement, which is a joke here in Thailand, corporate ESG disclosures, etc. It's not that Thailand is failing across the board, more that in many of the WEF desired metrics, it's doing some things but not everything. The anti-corruption, OECD requires high standards. Thailand has laws and frameworks, but enforcement and consistency are still criticized. Regulatory quality and governance, environmental policy, digital and open government and data governance. Thailand needs stronger institutions consistent data, standards, and oversight, and then social labor ESG reporting. Many Thai companies are still catching up on a consistent, transparent set of disclosures, especially smaller forms. Apparently, Thailand is on the path. They are actively engaging, and this really bothers me. Because when I did the video, the research that I showed said this is not good for Thailand. And I don't know that it is good. I don't think it is. Thailand might meet enough in certain areas to say it's close, but fully meeting OECD standards is likely several years out. Okay. It is not a crisis today, but if Thailand wants sustained investment and a stronger global voice, meeting OECD standards and leaning into WEF level ESG is ultimately good and probably unavoidable. Delay only postpones the benefits and keeps the cost of capital higher. It's bad for Thailand if Thailand drags its feet. I can't. It says without the OECD and WEF, Thailand is locked into a second-tier future. Well, I don't know that Thailand is at a first-tier level at this point. I mean, quite honestly, no matter what they do. What senator's position do we even know of his leanings? My life in Thailand with my what? Jesus Christ, what a name. I'm curious how many bank accounts they freeze in government people. I don't know. Let me see something here. They use the slogan anti-corruption, which means more corruption, not less. I bet the employees will really love doing all that extra work. Let me see something here. All right, listen. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. We've had like 80 people in here, and I only have 35 thumbs up. If you'd be so kind, consider a super chat. There's a bunch of stuff down in the description. I don't want to get into it. And then there is the, let me see here if I can do this. Well, I don't think I can right now. Everything's down in the description. Now let me see this. Environmental, social, and governments. Okay, so that's what ESG is. How many bank and government employees have had their bank accounts frozen? You can't find any credible specific numbers. I wonder why that is. 3 million accounts total have been frozen in the recent crackdown. Among those are many personal and small business accounts. It doesn't tell you shit. Some bank employees are involved in alleged wrongdoing. For example, in Pattaya, bank employees charged with helping open account for suspected scammers. But this doesn't translate into a reliable number of how many employee accounts were frozen. Okay, well, I'm being told something that I don't even care about. Because there's no public breakdown, we don't know how many of these things are from these groups. If you want disclosures, blah, 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 yes, I do. Now, my guess is almost none. Perhaps none. All right, so listen, let me get the answer for this here. I'm doing a deep dive on the frozen accounts from government employees and bank employees. Let's see here. But we need to talk about this Dark Side of Paradise by the BBC. It's their rather glossy, negative take on Thailand. And that's what we're going to talk about. Let's see here. Yeah, they're only talking about mule accounts. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing here that tells you this. I wonder why. It's funny because you're never going to get this kind of data. Now, there was another one here. Commercial banks have been instructed to verify accounts flagged by the Technology Crime Suppression Division within 2 hours, 3 times a day at 11, 3, and 7 p.m., and to complete unblocking within a maximum of 4 hours. Banks no longer need to wait 72 hours or 7 days, depending on the case, as previously required by law. Now, I don't understand that. What law? Complaints submitted before 7 p.m. will be processed the same day, sent back to the Technology Crime Suppression Division for review, and returned to bank for final unblocking. I didn't even want to get into that because it's ridiculous. There's been an uptick in those hatchet jobs on Thailand. That's the way it goes. All right, so let me get into, I'm sorry about the bank accounts, and there's not much more information than that. Today is Tuesday. I would think they meet on Sunday. They say Monday morning, 9 a.m., everybody better be there. We got to have this meeting. By noon, they're done. Okay, we're putting this into play, we're putting this into play, we're putting this into play. Okay, Tuesday morning comes, they go, hey, this is how it's going right now. Everything is locked in. But they're not doing that. I have a feeling that, the banks are just going to, whoa, I know we're supposed to be 4 hours, but loss of crew, wait. And I just think that's ridiculous. I just really don't believe in them. I don't believe in the banks now. To be completely honest, I don't believe in the QR code. And it's very convenient, but I don't believe it's the wave of the future and nobody's going to use cash or anything like that. That's bullshit. Use cash. Cash has always been king. And I don't mind, listen, I come, I do a coffee thing. At this point, I want to delete all my apps. Done pissed me off now. All right, so let's talk about this BBC. The Dark Side of Paradise promises a big reveal: crime, sex, tourism, drugs, and danger. But if you watch closely, you'll see a different story. Now, I have to say, there is this chick on there. She's the presenter. Okay? She is the presenter. Good-looking woman. I mean, she's only, I don't know, how old is she? 23? She's a nice-looking chick. Let me see something. Oh, she's 28. Well, here she is as a brunette. She doesn't look as good as when she was a blonde. She's 28 years old. She's about 5'6". And she was a reality TV star. Now, I just thought this was her documentary. It is not her documentary. She's a mouthpiece. That's all she is. They tell her what to say. Now, I've seen on several different channels that the BBC is very, very skewed, very racist, very political, and they have their own agenda. Now, okay, great. She's a nice chick to look at. Okay, hey, but you know what? She's like every other decent-looking chick. Oh, you look good. Okay. Now, what else you got, honey? Now, to me, I watched all 3 episodes. And to me, she seemed very naive. Oh, my God. And when the one guy goes, back over there is a blowjob bar. And she's like, oh. I mean, honey, you're 28 years old. I'm sure you know what it means to get a blowjob or to give a blowjob. I know. She's got to, right? She's not all that innocent. I mean, a lot of things she just feigned this innocence and, oh my God, I just can't believe what these girls go through. And, it's like, hey, honey, they go through a lot of shit, but so do a lot of other people in the world, right? And it's not just about the sex. Well, this is the thing that a lot of Brits have bought up. Why are they not talking about all the knifings going on in the UK? Why are they not talking about that? Here's the thing. I wanted to know if more Brits are coming to Thailand now than in the past. And I was surprised. No, there are not more Brits coming now. However, in the past, we're talking about 15 years ago, they may have been counting people that were staying here part-time as expats, not counting people who were just here full-time. Now they're counting just full-timers. So the reality is that the number of Brits that are here now compared to before is about the same. But why do the Brits want to leave? If England is so good, why do they all want to come here? Why do Americans come here? Why do Australians come here and they want to live here? Now, I know a lot of Australians, they don't want to come here. They stay part-time in Australia and they come here and visit for a couple of months. But why do a lot of Americans want to leave their own country and go elsewhere? Now, I know some of it is for the adventure. That's what I left for. I didn't leave because, oh my God, the PC movement. Oh my God, it's so terrible in America. I didn't think that. I thought I want to have a full life. I want to see the world, baby. That's what I thought. I thought I want to see the world. That's the only reason why I left. And I wanted to get into Muay Thai, more Muay Thai training, because I thought, well, maybe I can fight here and I can, do something. Now, I was wrong about that, but, I did train here and everything, and okay, that was good. But the real reason, the number one reason, number two, I would say, because I wanted to train, but number one was because I wanted an adventure. And I had thought about Indonesia, and I decided, no, I want to go to Thailand instead. I didn't see it, but I read about it. She's probably just doing her job, which includes her reactions, but the story is BS. Complete BS. Now, as I understand it, she is just a mouthpiece. She is doing what the producers tell her, and there have been more than one person, there have been quite a few people that I've heard from and that I've seen talking about this, and the whole series was skewed towards negativity, which, if you want to get into the negative aspects of Thailand, that's one thing. And okay, they did call it the dark side of paradise, but they've got to make it seem like, oh, it's so much better, it's paradise. Really? You think that being in Bangkok is paradise? Do you really think that? Now listen, where I'm going this weekend, I might go there and I might go, oh my God, this is awesome. This is paradise. But you know what? After a couple days, I'm going to go, there's nothing to do here. You're going to have to keep yourself busy. I don't really think this is paradise. I think it's great. That's what I do now. I love my life. I love the life I live. I thought I did just a couple of months ago. I thought, I could go back to work. And I could work for about 3 or 4 years and sock away, $150,000. And I went, not going to do it. Not going to do it because, first of all, it takes up all the time. Second of all, I'll be older then. And I'll be like, now I'm old, but I'm not really old. By then, I'm starting to hit the really old part. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I mean, listen, I walk around in my village. My village is pretty clean. Once I get out of the village, it's not clean. If I'm over here by the mall, and I go walk over to the postal place next door to the mall. It used to be in the mall. If I go walk over there, there's a canal, and it stinks. It just stinks. If I go across the street and I walk and go down to Lotus, you hit the same canal because it goes under the road. That canal stinks. It's absolutely filthy. Well, thank you. I'm told in EU they have to pay a BBC tax if you have a TV. Yeah, I've heard that, and I heard that a lot of people don't want to pay it. They're pissed off. They don't like it because the BBC is like a shill now. They're a shill for the government. They don't want people leaving. They don't want people coming to Thailand because they think it's better. Now I go, listen, you'd have to drag my ass back to America. I'm serious. You want me to come back? You got to drag my ass back. I mean, like in shackles. Because I ain't going back. I'll go back if I want to go back. I'll go back for the right reasons. But I'm not going back just because so-and-so said I have to go back. No, it's never, ever going to happen. And I say that, and I mean it with all my heart. It is not going to happen. 20 years ago, my first visit, I only stayed in Bangkok and not traveled around. I wouldn't have come back. Plenty of other issues in Thailand that can be reported on and need to be highlighted for the betterment of the people. Yes, definitely. They didn't show any people like street vendors. They didn't show any of the people that worked on Khao San Road that were happy. They were happy they had a job. They liked their jobs. They didn't show the Starbucks down the street where, these people are working as baristas making, decent money. They got benefits and stuff, and they're happy to be working there. A lot of them are happy to be working there. Yeah, good health care, it costs about 10 times as much here, and I can tell you that America's health care is not all that much better than Thailand's. So, that's bullshit. Okay, really. Thailand's healthcare is world class, and you can go to places like I did. I got my hip replacement done, and the doctor was phenomenal, and I paid about 15% of what it cost in America, just because I shopped around a little bit. So, It's called The Dark Side of Paradise. It's a 3-part series from the BBC. And the BBC is extremely skewed. They only want to tell you what they think will sell and what is the negative so that you go, oh my God. Like, oh my God, there's hookers working there. Well, there's hookers everywhere. Now, I kind of go, hey, wait a minute. Thailand gets all the hookers and throws them in like, maybe 5 different places around the country. And then, listen, if you go to Mukdahan and you're looking for a hooker, I'm sure you can find one in a karaoke bar or something like that. But, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a hot one. You're going to be hard-pressed to find a hot one that's reasonable and that you can have a good time with. And, it's just not going to happen. Now, what they show, listen, the visuals that they show are quite dramatic and okay. They show all these beach parties and, they went down to Koh Phangan and they're talking about how, you can get mushroom shakes and well, guess what? You don't have to do that. Nobody makes you drink those. You drink those if you want to drink them. Which, okay, if that's what you want to do, fine, go for it. But you run the risk. It's your life. I understand it. Listen, mushrooms are great, but this is a very narrow slice of Thailand. No, it's not. You got to go on Daily Motion. It's all over Daily Motion. Now, whether or not there is a dark side of Thailand, of course, we don't have, there's no disputing this. There is a dark side. Guess what? There's a dark side in London, a dark side in New York, in LA, in Mexico City. There's dark sides everywhere. I went to Medellin. Let me tell you something. Some of the places I went in Medellin are far worse than here. I was in Nicaragua. Some of them are far worse than here. I mean, without a doubt. But I can tell you this, if you're wandering the streets here in Thailand or in Bangkok late at night, now Pattaya, it depends on where you're walking, but you know, in most places, you can walk down the street, nobody's gonna bother you. You're walking around in LA somewhere, or London, you better be careful, you better not be wearing an expensive watch. Try doing this in some of the US cities. It's, you know, what the documentary really doesn't show is the everyday Thailand. You know, like I said, the street vendors, the quiet mornings. You know, that's what I like. I like going for a walk at like 6 o'clock, right when the sun is coming up. I like going for a walk. And it's quiet and things are just starting to open up. I love that. And nobody even comes up to me and talks to me most of the time. If they do, it's all, oh, Sawadi, where do you come from? Hey, how are you? You know, once I start speaking Thai, then it's like full on. We're in a conversation. And violent crimes on the whole in Thailand are far less. The percentage is far less than in the US and UK. Now, they didn't say that. Of course they didn't. And they didn't say that police respond fairly quickly when something goes wrong. Now, foreign residents and long-term expats and even visiting tourists, a lot of them are calling this bullshit out because they know it's just a sales pitch by the BBC to get ratings and to mislead people. That's what they do. So, you know, that's why I'm speaking up. Listen, Thailand isn't perfect. They got their share of problems, and you know, I wish they would take care of them. And some of them they will, and some of them they won't. But you can't just, you know, if you come here and you go, oh yeah, I've been to Thailand before. Where you been? Pattaya. Where'd you stay? Soi 6. And where did you go? Oh, I just was in Pattaya. Yeah, you know, really. I mean, now you're basically just staying in the whore zone. And I often say this. I had a friend. I haven't seen him in years. And he used to tell me all the time about how, oh, yeah, I've been here like 8 times now. And I'm like, where'd you go? What do you mean? I went to Soy Nana, I went to Cowboy, went to Pet Pong, I went to a couple discos, and I'm like, you never went to, oh, I went to Pattaya. You go to Chiang Mai, you go to Sukhothai, you go to Bungkan, you go to Nong Khai, you go to any of these places, you go down to the south to Suratani. Oh, no, I never went there. So then how do you know about Thailand? You don't know shit. Thailand is not a paradise, and nor is it a nightmare. It is a very complex country, just like most countries. Has good and bad. You know, there is good and bad in everyone. We learn to live. Yeah, all that good stuff. So I find it pretty incredible that they're bringing this up in this series. And, you know, of course, they got the mouthpiece who, okay, she's nice to look at. And when she walked into this guy's apartment that lives in Pattaya, this kid's apartment, this young guy's apartment, he's been living in Pattaya for 2 years. He's got some Thai wife or Thai girlfriend or whatever. They showed the back end of the girl, and I went, oh, whoa, she looks pretty damn good. But you know what? That doesn't have any bearing on the series. I don't give a shit what she looks like. It could have been Bill Burr. Could have been a redhead. I don't care. Redheaded stepchild. I don't give a shit who it is. You know, could have been, what's it, Matilda the Hun? I don't poke fun at them. I'm just an expert at identifying because I'm hetero. Not to mention, it's usually with fists and kicks rather than an elephant gun or something. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, here's funny stat for all those poking fun at the ladyboy scene in Thailand per capita. More identify as trans in U.S. than in Thailand. Well, Jim, in all fairness, the U.S. is about 50 times the size of Thailand. So I hate to say that. Now, the one thing is that every time you bring up, oh yeah, my wife is Thai, is she a ladyboy? And it's like, what are you, stupid? Are you that stupid? At least Thailand doesn't treat illegals or foreigners better than their own citizens. Yeah, I agree. And I like that. And you know, there is only two types of immigrant in the United States, and really anywhere else. There is the legal kind who goes by the book and does everything they're supposed to do, and there is the illegal kind, the kind that broke the law. And you know, that's why the laws are in place. You can't feel for, oh, he's got a kid. Yeah, I know, but there's people all over the world that got problems, honey, and this is basically to differentiate between somebody who did it the right way and somebody who did not. There are prostitutes here, but they are very low-key and only at a few places. It is very subtle. I would wager that most of Thailand is the same. If you focus on Thailand, different result. Yes. Thailand has problems, but so does America. So does Australia. So does the UK. So does everywhere. So big deal. So what? That's, you know, I'm going to go, okay, Thailand has problems, and what? Once again, for the multiple times when I get my next vacation, I will be in Pathum Thani again and again until I retire and move there in a couple of years. Okay, well, good for you. I have worked in Thailand. I have worked in Thailand, and now? And now what? You mean then and now? I don't understand. I've worked in Thailand, and I've not worked in Thailand, and I've done all kinds of things here in my time here. And I've never really had a serious issue with a Thai person. Maybe a couple of taxi drivers, you know, they can get a little hot sometimes, and, you know, you're trying to calm them down, and they're, like, freaking out, and it's like, hey, calm down, buddy. But other than that, really, I haven't had any problems. They're always pretty nice, and, you know, you just remember, if you're not looking for a fight, the chance of you getting in one is going to be very slim. Now, I have had some problems with Westerners, but I haven't had any problems with Thais. And the thing is if you want to fight here with a Thai, you'll get one. You will find one. If you're looking for one and you carry yourself like, I'm going to fight you. Now, I look at it like this. I don't want to fight anybody. I don't want any trouble. I don't want any problems. But if somebody gets aggressive, now that's a different story. You got to do what you got to do. But I don't want that, and I wouldn't want that. And nowadays I'm like, listen, if I ever had to go to prison now, oh my God, I'd be miserable beyond belief. So I don't think anybody wants that. But some people, they can't control themselves. And that's what you learn here. You learn a lot of resolve, and you learn you learn some discipline. And if you don't learn, well, then you might get in trouble. When you tell people that you go to Thailand for an extended period of time, they base their judgment on what they see on TV, which is nothing close to reality. I don't care about that. Doesn't matter to me. I just tell them flat out, you know how fucking stupid you are? Message got covered. I lived here now over 30 years, never had a problem with visas. People are wonderful, and it's a great place to live and stay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't care about what other people think. I mean, I've lived here so long, I'm like, I lived here, well, like I say this all the time. Another year, I'll have lived here half my life. And then I'll live, longer than I lived in the United States. So it's like, wait a minute, where's my allegiance? I'll always be an American. And I have an allegiance to Thailand, but I have an allegiance that I'm perfectly capable of saying when I think something's right or wrong or good or bad. You know, and if people want to say something like, oh, isn't that place where they're so... Listen, are you stupid? I don't even live anywhere near there. And you know what? It's not like you think. It's a lot different from what you think. You're probably too stupid to realize that because you've never been outside of America. And that's what a lot of people are. They're just idiots. Let me tell you something. On YouTube, I have learned firsthand how stupid some people are. First of all, people are stupid. They'll write to you and say, you're a loser, you're a dummy, and they won't spell loser right or dummy right. They'll spell it wrong. And I'm like, oh my God. What kind of person are you? Then you got all these people with these whacked out theories. Oh my God, it's Trump doing it. It's him. Oh, he's all the blame for it. It's like, oh, shut up. I got away from America because I don't want to listen to somebody like you. I don't want to hear it's him, it's Biden, it's this. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Because you know what my name is? My name is Chuck, and I just don't give a fuck. And that is the truth. Nowadays, I do get cheeky comments, even from my dad's older friends, when they think I'm heading off to Thailand. I just roll my eyes and shrug. I prefer to leave them to their fantasies. Those Americans who are most critical of other countries and cultures have never traveled to any of them. Listen, and that's the thing. I've been all over the world. I can go, hey, listen, I've been everywhere, man. I've been all over. The only place I haven't been that I want to go is the continent of Africa. I don't really want to go to the Antarctic or the Arctic Circle or anything like that. I don't really want to do that. You know, there's a couple places I haven't been, but there's a lot of places I went, and I feel good about what I've done, and I've traveled, and let me tell you something, it has totally opened my eyes up. I don't believe what a lot of other people think. You know, I remember being in I don't remember what country I was in. Maybe it was Japan. I was covering a fight, and you know, I'm there. I got my camera bag, I got my backpack, and I got my passport. My last passport was like that thick. I mean, it was probably about that thick. It was 10 passports in one. Because what they used to do is just add the pages. They don't do that anymore. So I'm holding this passport, and there's this chick ahead of me. Two things have happened. There's a chick ahead of me. She's like standing there talking to her girlfriend, and then she happens to see my passport. She goes, oh my God, that's your passport? And I said, yeah. How do you get that passport so big? I said, I travel a lot. Well, what do you do? And at the time, I was working as a photographer. And I go all over. I take photos. And she's like, oh my God, you've got the perfect job. And I go, yeah, I got the perfect job. I ain't getting rich from this job. But she couldn't believe it. She was in shock. She's like, how do I do that? And I'm like, hey, honey, you're going to have to figure it out yourself. Then another time I was at where was I? I think I was in Cambodia. Or I was in some Thai temple or something like that. And I'm up on the top of some place and I'm filming. And this girl is standing next to me. And she looked all right, you know. And I kind of looked at her. She looked at me and... Oh, you're filming? Yes. What are you filming for? YouTube. Oh, really? Yes. Do you make any money from it? Are you a big YouTuber? I said, no, I'm not that big, but I say I make money from it. How do you do that? And she did not want to leave. She wanted to stand there with me and talk about YouTube and how to make money. It wasn't about me. It was about she wanted to make money from, how can I do this too? So I can fund my travels and I can go everywhere in the world. Eventually she caught on that I didn't want to, let on to her, but, Wouldn't mind a research assignment in Antarctica. Yeah, I mean, that would be all right. I've lived in the U.S., Europe, South America, Taiwan, South Korea. I rate Thailand second to U.S. I am Australian. Listen, buddy, I'm an American, and I put Thailand ahead of America. Try hitching with a QR code on your phone or waving a $20 note and see who gets you picked up first. Listen, in 83, I marched out on the highway, or maybe it was 84. I was getting out of the Air Force, and I marched out onto the highway because I wanted to hitchhike. Some of my buddies dropped me off after a big party night and then a day of recuperation. The next day, it was time to go, and they brought me out to the highway. I'm on the side of the highway in a good spot. We're all talking, saying goodbye, hugging, and okay, buddy, hey, man, take it easy, stay in touch. And I got my Diary of a Madman Ozzy Osbourne shirt on, because back then I was a bit of a nutcase. And I stick my thumb out. Now, it took me 2 rides to get from New Mexico to Southern California. I got a ride, the second ride, with a trucker. And he said, I'll give you a ride, but hey, man, I could use some gas money. And all I had was $60. That's all I had, $60. I go, I can give you 20. He goes, okay. I gave him the 20, boom. He took me all the way to where I needed to go. Then my buddy picked me up. And then his mother goes, you probably need a little money. And she gave me $20. So I got that money back. And I paid her back, but it took me a while to get on my feet there. But man, it was, there was no QR code back then. Antarctica too cold. Africa, I have a phobia of being near things that see me as a potential snack. Yeah, that's why you be careful where you are. Thais are the epitome of quality people. Yeah, well, what can I say? What were you then, 21? You fell into that one. Thailand is a country, and it's often said, it is a country of contradictions. Its banks are modern and globally connected, but a sudden policy shift can freeze millions of accounts. And you think that everything is grand, everything is wonderful, their banks are so modern. But the reality is that each bank calls its own shots. And that is a bit of a hindrance, if you ask me. The beaches and the temples, they draw millions of people, but a simple documentary like this BBC documentary, The Dark Side of Paradise, the dark side, that one word, dark, or other, the other side of paradise, can make a lot of people go, oh my God, they're talking about Thailand again. Oh, that shitty place. Oh, it's terrible there. I can tell you that when I asked my girlfriend at the time, who I ended up breaking up with because I was moving, and I was moving to Thailand, I said to her on my first trip, I said, do you want to go with me? And thankfully she said no. Now, I didn't think that way then. I was like, why don't you want to go? What's the problem? Oh my God, that place is filthy. They don't even speak English. I want to go to Cannes. I want to go to Monaco. Now, I did go to Cannes. I don't know if she ever went to Monaco, maybe, but I didn't take her. I said, I'll pay for everything. You want to come? I'll pay for you. No, she didn't come. Now, the fact of the matter is, the documentary, just like many things that people believe, the documentary intersperses truthful comments in with complete bullshit. And this is what people start to believe it, because they think, oh, yeah, that's true. And then they think the next comment is true, and it's complete bullshit. Okay? This place is one of the safest places in the world. And it's one of the most rewarding places if you want to live here or you want to travel here. But just like anywhere else, you got to stay sharp. You got to be smart. You got to make sure you keep your paperwork in order. Listen, yesterday when I streamed, I showed I got paperwork about that thick. Hotels, drone paperwork, the passport, airline tickets, everything that I have, it's all in those papers. Now, some of those things I don't need the papers for, but you know what? I keep them as a backup. Just like money, you got to diversify a little bit. Don't let a stupid documentary or a well-produced documentary like this one, or what's going on with the banks, don't let it scare you to decide that, oh, well, this life is not for me in Thailand. If you've never even been here before, you're like, oh, I can't go there. I don't want to live there. I'd rather go to the Philippines. Okay, good luck. Go to the Philippines. See ya. You want to go to the Philippines, be my guest. And, you know, the Philippines gets a bad rap also. And I got to say that there's a lot of really nice places in the Philippines. And there's also a lot of nice Filipinos. It's just more dangerous than Thailand. And I just think Thailand has it beat. That's my opinion. Yeah. So, that's the long and short of it. You got the skinny 10 in mom's basement. Walking contradiction, yet still the Goldilocks porridge of the region. Perhaps still watching cartoons, but they're not good as those 30 to 40 years ago. Jim, cartoons from the 60s were the best. They didn't even go to the proper, real dark side of Pattaya. Probably too boring. Listen, they went with whoever they could get, and I guess a lot of people were asked to be in the documentary. Now, they probably knew. Don't ask that Scott Mallon. Because Scott Mallon ain't going to play ball. Scott Mallon's going to give you the truth. You know, really. I would have told him, you know, hey, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You got your head up your ass. They probably wouldn't even have used me. Yeah, exactly. I'll probably sink the whole documentary. They'd be pissed off at me. I'll give you the whole unabashed truth. And I don't care if you like it or not. It really doesn't matter to me. You don't like it? Oh well. Too bad, isn't it? Really too bad. Anyway. So with the banks, I would say, yeah, they've made a little progress, but I wouldn't call it earth-shattering what they've done. I don't think they've made all that much progress, and I want to see what the next couple of days bring, because then we're going to know well, these changes have been made. Well, they were great. They took care of me within a couple of hours. We're going to start to find out. The Naked Guru. I think I know that's a guy with the goatee or whatever, or the beard. Yeah, I mean, I've watched the whole thing, and what I would say is the BBC is a shill for the government. Honestly, I think they're a shill for the government. The government doesn't want all its people going abroad, and let me tell you, the number of people that have moved abroad from the UK, I'm not talking about just Thailand, but the number of people from the UK who have moved abroad has increased dramatically in the past few years. Now, you think about it. Oh, our taxpayers are moving. You know, I mean, they're taxpayers. They need money. And a government is a business. They don't want to lose their money. Oh no.ให้มีเอสเปรสโซ่ยังไงมาวันพุธวันพฤหัสผมไม่อยู่ So their espresso is coming on Thursday, but I'll be gone by then. So it's the way it goes. Well, I find it funny, you know. The thing with Thailand is the size of Texas. It's about the size of Texas. So, you know, you go, oh, Thailand's got many more lady boys. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's ridiculous. The United States 50 times bigger. Approximately 50 times bigger. And you know, those people back in the U.S., they are not nice people. I don't mean all of them, of course. I'm not trying to lump them all together, but a lot of them are not very nice people. Now, some of them here are not very nice people. Some of them are nice, you know. You know, whatever. Doesn't bother me. I don't give a shit what they are. I just don't, you know, I have no reason to be surrounded by them or to be around them or to hang out with them. I just don't. I got my own friends. I got plenty of friends. I got my family. What do I need? What do I need some lady boy around? You know, I mean, okay. Hey, you still got a pecker? Yes. Oh, okay. Good for you, man. All right. Well, I want to get it chopped off. Oh, okay. Good for you. You know. They should do a story on how college is probably a waste of time now in 5 or 10 years. Well, who knows, man? AI may be taking all their jobs. And let me tell you something. I feel like I'm just getting there right on the. I'm right on the line. Billy, I think you're right on the end of the line. I think a generation before you, and they are screwed. If they don't have the right they don't have the right job, they are actually screwed. Hey, how you doing? Hello, Pam. What is this? Will you ever? There are zero lady boys in Texas. Okay, good for you. If that's what you want, good for you. I loathe people in the U.S. who always bring up Thailand full of prostitution, forgetting there are probably more of them in the U.S. Yeah, okay. And guess what? Oh, there's prostitution in Thailand? Oh, really? And? So what? What's your point? Oh, it's really bad there. Says who? Hello, I'm Thai. Hello, Sawadee Kap. I feel like since Cambodian attacks, many countries have been trying to make Thailand look worse, both from the news reports from Cambodia and the latest from the BBC. I don't know about that, because, you know, when you look at it in the scope of the world, I don't think that Thailand versus Cambodia on the border is the most pressing issue when it comes to conflict. I think, honestly, I think a lot of people just don't care. Some people, yeah, a little bit, but I don't think they care like, you know, Israel and the Ukraine and things like that. Those are places that I think people really are like, wow, oh, I have to watch this. With Thailand, you know, I'm sorry, look at Myanmar. You know, I mean, like, Myanmar is a screwed up place. And it's been a screwed up place even when I was going there a lot. And I'll be honest, I would like to go back at some point, but like right now, I don't really want to go. I got other places I want to go. I won't say who's being deceived, but it's suspicious what's happening. How do they expect ugly guys to get honey? Will you ever mail it with an AI? Mail what? What are you talking about? All these comments coming at me, I can't keep up with it. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. All right, listen. we're almost at the end of the stream, so do me a favor, hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, use the join button down below the video description, hit the super chat, hit the Cash App, hit the blah, 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 blah. There's all kinds of links down below. How do they expect ugly guys to get honey? Probably make it with AI. What can I say, man? I don't care about AI. You know, I forgot who said it, but somebody said, you know what? Once you live in reality, being on the internet, for the most part, is not reality. Okay, you take care, Bruce. Take it easy, huh? Being on the internet is not really, it's not the real world, man. Oh yeah, Scott's AI ran. I am AI. Can't you tell? In a few years, I might be dead. You know? And I'll be honest, a few years is probably all the more I'm gonna do. That's about it. I have no idea, but it may not be all that long. So, you know. You know, I got no reason to use AI. You know what I mean? Like, people go, oh, you can earn more money. I don't think so. At least not now. I don't think you can earn more money. I think some of the AI channels are absolute dog shit. They're just dog shit. Okay, maybe their voices kind of sound like somebody else's voice, like a real person's voice. But for the most part, they're shit. Right? Now, if I were to make it, guess what that means? I don't want to live stream too often. I don't want to live stream every day. Maybe, you know, once or twice a week at the most. And that's it, because that's what's good for me. That's what I like. That's about the frequency. And I like doing it. For the most part, most of the time, I like it. Why would I use an AI to do it for me? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Cyrus. Yes, thank you very much. I will enjoy myself. What is VTuber? If I start watching a video and realize it's AI, I shut it down. Yeah, exactly. And I'll be honest, I'm switching now. Slowly but surely, I'm switching back to, I'm thinking to myself, how was it when I was 20 years old? How was it when I was 25 years old? And I'm trying to switch back to that. You know, I mean, I don't use Facebook for anything now. I put my videos up there. I don't use Twitter for anything. I put my videos up there. I really don't even post on Instagram anymore. I haven't posted a photo in God knows how long, maybe a year. I just retired in Hua Hin. I'm glad I'm out of there. I understand it. The funniest is people donating money to sexy AI women. You see how many donations I got? Now, I don't think I'm a sexy woman. I'm a little bit of a Kojak type man, I guess, but... Oh, let me tell you something. Don't get me started about the donations to AI and to some of the dumb fucks out there. Some people get donations by being a dumb fuck. And I'm not going to name names, but there are a lot of them out there. They are total dumb fucks, total clueless, and people just want to keep watching them so they pay them to continue. You know, and as far as the AI goes, I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, if you got to get yourself a chubby girlfriend and work her out and get her into good shape. I mean, you know, if you can't get a girlfriend, figure something out. Every guy needs to get his weasel greased on a fairly regular basis. And I've been reading about all these guys in America. They're like, oh, they've been sexless for, they might get laid once a year. I'm like, oh my God. I wonder how long it lasted. Jesus Christ. What'll it last them, a minute? Well, I haven't had sex since 1998. I wonder what more cost effective, being fleeced by an AI lady or flying to Patsy and being fleeced by the good old fashioned. I don't think about that shit. You can tell the difference between an AI woman and a regular woman. And quite frankly, if you're giving money to any woman online, you're an idiot. What are you giving them money for? What the hell would you do that for? Now, you come visit them, you have a nice time, you have relations, and you find out she's a good chick. She's got a job. She's not asking you for money. Watching video about Bangkok, and they show an aerial view of Bangkok that shows Taipei 101. Yeah. That's why I rarely use any. I mean, I probably, out of 1,000 videos, I probably use stock footage in maybe 2. Now, I used to use some stock footage at the beginning of some of the videos. But it was just like an intro. That's all it was. And other than that, I don't know why you need the AI. I don't know why you got to have that. I don't understand it. And for you guys out there who are giving money to AI chicks, I mean, wake up. You're just an idiot. And if you're giving money to a chick from a bar, wake up. You're an idiot. Stop doing that. Oh, yeah, but, she's going to take good care of me when I come back. Oh, she loves me. My girl is different. No, she's not. Jacko firing darts. Eddie's barking hearts. A bloke called Cooper got punked by a Filipino to the tune of... I don't know what you're talking about. Jacko firing darts. Eddie's breaking hearts. Oh, that's the name. Sorry. A bloke called Cooper got punked by a Filipino to 400K peso. Well... how'd that happen? Because you know what? You're the only... I say this a million times. If you're giving them the money, it's you who fucked up. It's that simple. If she stole your money, that's a different matter. Wow, only 4. Only you can open your wallet and only you can transfer the money. She steals it from you, then that's the way it goes. Yeah, well, he sounds like an idiot. I'm sorry. There's a lot of massage places in the U.S. with happy endings. So if somebody says they haven't been laid in a while, it's because they are not motivated. Could be. Could be the guy just isn't motivated to put in the work that it takes to get a little piece of ass sometimes. And I understand it. Sometimes the juice is not worth the squeeze. No, I only had 4 sneezes. Usually it's 7 or 8. I had one the other day. It was 12. 12 sneezes. I couldn't stop sneezing, man. My friend always gets something stolen in Manila. Last time they stole his perfume. For some reason, that really humiliated him. And, this is the thing. You go to the Philippines, people will steal. Here in Thailand, most people won't steal from you. I mean, I hate to say that, but that's the truth. You want to be naive? Asia is not the place to be naive. Wake up, be a man, understand how women work and how they think, and don't cave in. That's all. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. Girl says she needs money and you go, no. Yes, but honey, my buffalo's sick. That's not my problem. I'm sorry, honey, but it's not my problem. Mama, she needs surgery. Heart no good. Very sorry. I hope she lives. I gotta go. Bye. You're not getting a penny out of me, baby. There you go. I've just given you the blueprint for every interaction you have with a woman. Oh, you finish. Oh, feel very good. Oh, so good. Now I want to go to my apartment, okay? Yeah, here you go. 2,000 baht, honey. Just like we agreed on. Here you go. Bye-bye. See you. Chokdi. That's it. Does it get easier than that? I don't think so. Now, I'm wondering, of all of you that have been in the stream the entire time, or that have watched some of the stream, much of the stream, did you like the stream? Spur of the moment stream that I did? If you like it, click yes. Hit yes. Put yes in the chat. I'd appreciate it. At least I get a little love that way. I get to see who likes it, who doesn't like it. If you don't like it, or give a thumbs up. That's good too. Forgot all about that. You got to give a thumbs up if you like it. My bank account was frozen. Listen, I had one that she was hard. She was hitting me hard for money. And finally I said to her, okay, I will send you some money. And she said, really? I said, yes, no problem. How much you send me? $500. How you send me? Western Union. So, I'm sorry to say this, but, but I gave her a fake Western Union number. And I told her I sent the money. And then I didn't pick up the phone. I didn't answer emails. I didn't do anything. And she was like, oh, you sent the money, but I can't get it. I don't know where it is. They say there is no money. And that was it. I never talked to her again. And I was like, fuck you. Well, you got to deal with the right girls, man. You got to vet them. You got to vet them. Seriously. You vet a girl, if she's hanging out in the tourist areas or the places where the girls are getting paid and she's not asking for money, she's probably out for the long-term score. Or maybe she really likes you and she doesn't want to get paid by you because she's going to get, somebody else is going to give her money. That's happened to me before. I had a chick, she really liked me and I really liked her, and she got money from some guy. He kept sending her $100,000 a month. He was from Sweden. Men from Sweden. I don't keep large amount of money here. How do you finance the visa renewal? I use the monthly income method. Well, you can do that. I find that to be a pain in the ass, quite frankly. And, I've had my accounts I've had my TTB when it was Thai Military Bank. I've had it for about 31 years now. It was actually a little bit more than 31 years because I had that account from before I moved here. So I don't see that they're going to lock my accounts up. If they did, like I said, I've only got one that has money in it, and the others I have almost no money in it. And it doesn't matter. Excuse me. All the other money is in the US or it's in Wise or whatever. As soon as I get my Wise card, which hopefully will be very, very soon, things will change. Things will be a little bit easier. Thank you, Moss. Thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, you're talking about a working girl. And, I understand that for a lot of guys, they're paying the girl to go away and they want to pay them so that they don't have any obligation or whatever it is. I did that for a long time. I didn't care. I had a couple regular chicks too, and I had some girls, they just wanted to go out. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's go out. And then I went out with him, and I was like, the chick can't speak a word of English. My Thai sucks in the beginning. My Thai sucks, and we have almost nothing in common. And I was like, you know, it took a while weeding through the good ones to really get to a couple that were really good. And I had a couple that were really good, and I eventually, some of them drop off. They move, they decide they want to do something else, or whatever it is. But if you're here for a long term, then yeah, I suspect that most of them, or a high percentage of them, were fairly new. But who knows? And they don't release that information, of course. That's how it works. They don't want to release all that information. Now, I said something the other day. I forget what it was. I did a video. I don't remember if it was a video I put up for go up in a couple of weeks, or I don't remember what the video was. But I said something to the effect of, when you go into a bar and you find a really hot girl, your mindset should not be, oh my God, I scammed on this hot chick. That should not be your mindset. Because you didn't scam on her for any other reason that you're willing to pay the bill. That's it. She wants your money. Try telling her, let's go, I'm not giving you a dime. And if she goes with you, okay, great. Now, that's happened a couple of times. Listen, one time I went out with two. They were friends. I went out with two. I took them out. We partied our asses off. I spent like 10,000 baht. And then I took them back home to my place. I didn't give them a dime. And you know what it was? I was drunk and hungover and laying there half asleep, and they were fiddling around. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. They're fiddling around, putting their clothes on, doing things like that, and they just left. They were like, bye. I said, okay, bye. And then I go, oh, I didn't give them any money. They didn't care. So sometimes, you play the game long enough, sometimes you find yourself in situations that you wouldn't expect yourself to get into. But if you want a good one, well, then you can't act like you're the kind of guy that's hanging out in the bars all the time, because the good ones will just toss your ass aside. They don't want some guy. Most of them don't want some guy who's, oh, I just want this guy to bang the shit out of me. That's not what happens most of the time. I hate to tell you. Sometimes. Well, if you don't want anything long term, all you have to do is tell them, listen, I only want to have some fun. I don't want a long-term relationship. You tell them that, they'll appreciate you being honest. And I still remember one girl, her name was Duke. And she wasn't the hottest thing, but she was cute, and she was very nice. And I always thought she was nice. And then one night, the bar was closing, and I was getting ready to leave. I was, picking up my stuff and getting ready to bail. And she goes, hey. I go, what? She goes, I go with you. And I go, I don't want to pay. I don't really feel like going. And she goes, no, I go with you. It's okay. Don't worry about money. Money, no problem. I went, okay, you want to go. And that night she spent the night. And the next day she woke up. She was happy. She was in a good mood. I was in a good mood. Okay, see you later. Okay, bye-bye. And she was always good. She was very friendly. If you want a different kind of peace, relaxation, the beauty of the sea, I recommend you come to the south, and don't forget to put Krabi on your top list. Yeah, I like Krabi. Krabi is very nice. I've been there many times. I went during the pandemic to Riley, and that was nice. There was nobody there, really. And I like the south. I'm going there, tomorrow. So I'm, yeah, well, you go there. Go ahead. Have fun. I'll be going to, where I'm going, in the South. I'm going to the deep South. So that should be fun. Should be very beautiful. And yes, it will be relaxing, and it will be a beautiful area by the sea, and it will be peaceful. One of the places will be very, very peaceful. The other should be somewhat peaceful. And I can't wait to go. That's all I got to say. So, anyway, I appreciate everybody coming in today. Very nice of you. Remember, again, to hit the like button. If you want to show your support for the channel, you can do so. Hit the join button down below for as little as $1.99. You can become a VIP member. If you want a consultation, or you need, you want to send me a letter, you want whatever, an American in Bangkok at Gmail, that's my email address. What are you saying there, deep South? You mean Florida? Florida? I'm not going to Florida for a few months. I want to go in a few months. No more than about, I'd say 6 months, but maybe 4 months. I want to get on out of here. Well, Florida is about as south as you can get. Howdy, hi there, friends and neighbors. How y'all doing? What in the hell are you talking about? Cheers, 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 cheers. Cheers to all my British friends. Hopefully, you'll say something about the dark side of paradise, because, I understand the girl's doing what she's got to do and everything like that, and they're basically picking out the negatives of Thailand, or they are picking out the things that a lot of people find controversial. I don't find prostitution controversial. Girl wants to go with you, you want to go with her, it's up to you. Yeah, well, I come from southern Florida, not northern Florida, so there you go. Anyway, that's all I have. I'm Scott. I am an American in Bangkok for right now. I won't be soon. Oh, Charles, thank you very much. Appreciate that. What does this say? Aloha, enjoy your trip. Give him a thumbs up, please. Maybe we can meet up. Yes, I need some fatherly advice about raising an American Thai son here for the first part of his life. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I'm still raising my kids, and they're 24 and 22, and they're still always asking me for advice. So yeah, but yeah, we can meet up at some point. I know we've talked about it, but we haven't yet. So anyway, that's all I have. Until next time, chok di leo juk and mai. That is good luck, and see you again. He will definitely go to his high school in Hawaii. Oh, okay. That's probably a good thing, quite honestly, that he goes to school abroad. So, anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I got to get out of here. Things to do, people to see, important projects to take place in. All right? I will talk to you guys later. Charles, thank you again. Give Charles a thumbs up.